Thank you for taking time out and being with us. Let's start off by talking about the 9.5% top line jump. Help us understand what has been the volume growth, because we haven't managed to egg that out from the balance sheet, and tell us what has really been the breakup between the regular paints versus the more premium paints.
Like I said, we don't give indicators. Premium has grown faster than the regular or the economy products.
Fair enough, Mr. Anand. Also, tell us a little bit about the fact that you've raised product prices. That's happened twice in the last 3 months. Despite that, your margins have slipped. Does this mean that you have not been able to cover the jump in the input costs?
See, the margins have, we've increased prices on 1st of May and on 7th of March. So for most of the quarter, you have been operating at lower prices. So the impact of the price change will be seen more in Q1 this year and probably even more significantly in Q2.
One in March and the other one in May. That means for Q1, can we expect your margins to expand? And what's the outlook going forward in light of all that's happening in the raw material prices?
To an extent, yes. But it also depends on how raw material prices move. I mean, you're not working in a totally rigid situation. The environment also keeps changing. So we have been fortunate. The rupee has strengthened considerably, so imports have become cheaper. But if you can tell me how long this will continue, I'll be greatly indebted to you.
Okay, fair enough. But, let's just talk about your international business. Egypt has been a pain point. In fact, you've taken a 59 crore rupee currency translation hit on account of that. But how has the geography panned out, and will we see more currency pressures going forward?
Egypt had a tough year, so to speak. There was a 100% currency devaluation. So naturally, the bottom line plus the earnings of the previous years, which we weren't allowed to remit, got affected. Ethiopia too didn't really grow because of forex circumstances. Egypt, we think, is coming back to normal, and the currency impact automatically gets addressed, although there have been substantial price increases to offset the drop in the currency, and probably not fully met yet. Ethiopia is still a cause of concern for the current year on how it plays out versus forex. But some of the other markets have done exceptionally well. Nepal, most of the Middle East, Jamaica, Fiji, all have grown better than expectations.
Can you, just tell us a little bit more about the volume growth? Because I think this is something that investors on the street as well want to know about, because we have a lot of analysts now. They're pegging volume growth at 11 to 12%. Are they warm?
So we have told you we are in double-digit territory, but beyond that we are not going to tell you.
Won't divulge then. Given that you won't divulge, I won't probe rather. Mr. Anand, let's move on then. And you've talked about recovery that you've seen post demonetization. Has there been recovery all throughout, or do you think that still there are certain pockets in the country which are lagging, perhaps rural or northern India?
See, North India did not recover. North and Central India did not recover fully in Q4. But there were signs towards the end of the quarter that things were picking up. We'll have to go through this quarter to really see the impact overall.
All right, fair enough. Now, most on the street are expecting big market share gains from you, given structural shift in the industry towards organized. Firstly, is there any increase in market share gains you have seen in the recent past, and how much can it increase going forward?
I have no market share data, and we have no resource that gives us accurate market share data. So most of the paint companies other than us are a mixture of industrial and architectural coatings. So it becomes extremely difficult to get exact market share for architectural. You can get some level of combined market share, but again there is a unorganized sector which is about 30% of the industry, which has a reasonable influence. So I would say we have gained fractional market share every year for the last few years. Beyond that, it's very difficult to say anything.
Okay, any acquisitions we can expect in the home improvement space? And also if you could give us a glimpse as to how your tie-up with Henkel is progressing in the adhesive space.
I mean, we look for acquisitions, but we want to stabilize our current home improvement space and the 2 acquisitions we made 3 years back. We see some turnaround last year in terms of growth and expansion of business. Hopefully these will stabilize over the next 1 or 2 years, and then we may look out. The Henkel business is more of, they're producing some products for us in the space. The pickup has been mixed. Some of the products are doing reasonably well, some not too well. So we are examining further on how to work with Henkel to expand the range and provide more overall revenue and growth.
And, you know, you look towards the country's GDP growth in order to get a sense of how your business can shape up, because it's contingent on the overall growth of the economy. Tell us, how does the picture look right now?
No different from last year.
And what about GST? Because a lot depends on the rate of GST. Are you expecting any problems due to supply issues?
Internally we are prepared, but we expect destocking in the trade, because the initial rules that have come out talk of a loss of 60% of the taxes already paid in the stock. So we expect trade to destock as much as possible. The other option is, depending upon the tax rate that comes out, if the tax rate is lower, they may not destock that significantly, but prices are not going to fall for some time then. Because I don't expect the trade to pick up losses on account of the government's decision not to allow full credit.